Yippee-ki-yay.
The most important symbol that most people miss and don't know about in the movie Die Hard is the wife's Rolex. You'll remember when Bruce Willis first comes to the building,
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake.
which will eventually be taken over by terrorists. She's given a Rolex, and the cocaine, cheesy business executive says,
Show him the watch.
Later.
and she receives this Rolex as a Christmas bonus for her work in the corporate world. And you know already that Bruce Willis and his wife are estranged. He's a blue-collar cop. They've separated, and she's pursuing the corporate world and going up the corporate ladder, and she's been rewarded with that Rolex. And when the cocaine, sleazy business executive says, show him the Rolex, show him the Rolex,
It's a Rolex.
she doesn't. She's embarrassed. And that shows in the movie that she's redeemable and that they're going to come back together. And that's really the story. It's not so much about Aryan German terrorists taking over a building and getting all these bank bonds. It's ultimately about a family and a marriage being healed. At the very end of the movie, we all know the famous scene where Hans Gruber is hanging out of the building and Bruce is holding her and he's trying to pull her out. And at a certain moment, he looks down and he realizes that Hans Gruber's grip is based on her Rolex. The Rolex is providing the friction for him to hold on to his wife's wrist. He even brings the gun up to point it. So he reaches down, he unlatches the Rolex. And if you watch closely in the film, not only does Hans Gruber falls, but the camera shows the Rolex coming off and falling with Hans Gruber. What does this mean? What does this symbolize? Well, Bruce Willis has freed his wife from the bondage of slave wage corporate America. He literally breaks off the shackle of her wrist, symbolically here, the Rolex, and it falls, and Hans Gruber falls, and he and his wife are left there alone as man and wife. So it's a very based movie. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a Christmas movie, not just because it happens on Christmas, because it shows the reconciliation of a man and his wife who has been beguiled into the corporate world. And she now realizes her husband, who's just a blue-collar Joe, a cop, is in fact a hero.
Got yourself a good man. You take good care of him.
And she is now free. She is now unshackled from that Rolex and is back. And you see that in the final scenes as well. So next time you watch Die Hard, look for that scene in the beginning when she receives the Rolex, and then at the very end when it's broken off and she's free. Hope that's helpful. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you.